Oh, good to be back after a few weeks away from the live chat. We were doing some other traveling on
A
Mother's
lot of
Day, right?
stuff. Yes, we got to see our daughter, our youngest, graduate from college, and that was in Tennessee. And then we got to visit with my family, my sister, and then we celebrated Mother's Day. That was fun. I had a great day. And then what did we do? Oh, then we went on vacation with my parents. We took them to Virginia, to Shenandoah Valley. So that was a lot of fun. We actually, this last Friday, put up a video of the resort where we were staying with them, and we had a lot of fun. And we took my parents to the water park there, which
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
great.
we rolled the dice on taking 70-year-olds to a water park, but we
Hi,
did,
Elizabeth.
and they had fun. So,
And her dad rode the surfboard machine, Surf Rider. So if you catch that video, he didn't even fall off at all. So it was amazing. So if you want to see something great, you can catch that video in a few weeks.
yeah,
But
so.
we are in DC, and we actually took the Amtrak Cardinal here
Yes.
a couple days ago, right?
Yay, we're finally on the trains.
Hello, Melinda. Hello, Dawn. Good to see you guys here today. Happy you guys are all here, and hoping to talk about some good Amtrak vacation, anything that comes to mind.
Yep, we
So-
got lots of stuff coming up. Actually, a ton of Amtrak train rides, and we actually have already started putting together new videos from our rides that we'll be doing. And we've got, actually, this week we have a bonus video coming up. We've been just doing videos on Fridays. We got a bonus video coming on Tuesday of all of the changes that we've noticed, the changes since last year, which was the last time that we rode. And they've made a lot of changes. There's a lot more people on Amtrak.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty busy.
Yeah, the coach, we rode coach on the Cardinal this last week, and we rode from Charlottesville to Washington, D.C., and as she said, the social distancing is gone now on Amtrak. That's not there anymore. So, the cars are full. But the weird thing to me was I didn't even notice the difference because the seats are so much further apart than on a plane that I didn't even notice that it was full, and so that was pretty cool.
And yes, Susan, we are in a hotel in DC.
Yes. Yeah, there's going to be a video coming up on our ride in, our hotel, our visit. So we got even a room tour of the hotel coming.
Yeah.
Dawn says she went from DC to New York, or New York to DC, which we're going to be doing the exact opposite. We're going to go from DC to New York. So.
Let's see. It was a great coming to DC on the train. It was pretty relaxed. We noticed a lot of college students going home.
Yeah, we left from Charlottesville, Virginia, and I think it was like the day after graduation, maybe the day of, I don't know.
Something like that.
And almost everyone on the train was college students, so they all had their laptops out for some reason.
Yeah.
I guess they were watching Netflix.
I don't know. There was a kid with a big box of plants that he was carrying.
Yeah, they were transporting their dorm rooms and their computers back to the Northeast. They were all getting off in like Manassas or
Alexandria
or up to New York City. So it was cool. It was a different crowd. You don't usually see that many like 20-year-olds on Amtrak, but it was literally full of college kids.
Yeah, the whole waiting area. I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. Yeah, so we can't wait for the traditional dining either. It's supposed to be starting back here very soon, and we'll be on the train, so we will keep you guys updated as soon as they make those changes. We haven't seen those yet, but as soon as they make those changes, it's supposed to be within this week, from what we heard from them. So hopefully it'll be soon. And yes, you do still have to wear a mask on the train. It is still federally mandated on the trains from what the conductors were telling us.
Yeah, they were pretty adamant about it on the train and in the station. If you are eating or drinking, you don't have to. Or if you're in a sleeper car, you also don't have to. But yeah, one thing about the food that was interesting on the Cardinal, we were there, and with all those college students, the cafe ran out of food. So I went back at like 5 o'clock to get dinner in the cafe because we were just in coach, and I could see like all the college kids when I walked by them had a bunch of food on the trays, and so I got back to the cafe. And the guy said all they had was breakfast sandwiches and one cheeseburger. So, yeah, I've never really seen that where they completely like run out of food. So, I guess if you're riding and you see a bunch of young people on there, get to the cafe early. Is my recommendation.
All right, let's see. We're getting some recommendations. Ooh, the boardwalk, yeah.
Navy Yard, waterfront boardwalk, and
Okay.
a walk to Turtle Beach.
Ooh,
Saw 12
Friday.
turtles. Yes, we are. We are hoping to get down to the Navy Yard, maybe to a Nationals game, which is down there by the Navy Yard, and the boardwalk. And Mark says the dining car is a blast on the Zephyr. Yes, we love the Zephyr. Probably our favorite train is the California Zephyr.
Yes.
Which goes from Chicago to Emeryville.
And is Mark asking us what train we were just on? We were just on the Cardinal to get to D.C.
Yeah.
And Hoarders. Oh, I see what Sarah's saying. We should have taken the food from the Hoarder. No, we don't want to take food from hungry college students. Are you kidding? They're hungry. They're kids.
That'd be bad for us. I think they all slept after they ate. So, yeah, it was good. It was actually a pretty interesting ride. It was, something I've never seen before. So
yeah,
just a different demographic.
I was not expecting that.
It was really cool.
Yeah, they just kind of kept pouring into the waiting area.
Someone was on the Pacific Surfliner last week from Burbank to Santa Barbara. Train was almost to capacity. First time in 16 months it's been full, he said. Yes. Ours was pretty full too. It was a big crowd. And actually it was a 5-minute stop in Charlottesville, but we were probably stopped for 15 because it took that long just to get everybody on and off the train. I didn't realize so many people got on.
There were so many. We were not expecting that many at all to be getting on there, but it was full.
Yeah, we are hoping to do the Pacific Surfliner from LA to San Diego in July, and so be our first time on there. So I hope it's good. I wonder if you know how it compares to the Coast Starlight, because that's the one we've been on out there. So
yeah, and we really did enjoy the Coast Starlight quite a bit. That was a lot of fun.
Excited for an upcoming 3-day trip to Hollywood, Florida. Ooh, that'll be cool.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
The Hollywood, Florida has my favorite beach. So I grew up going to Hollywood Beach there all the time. So that was really cool.
Okay, good question here from Anthony. Has the Union Station shops reopened? Many were still closed a few weeks back. So a few are open. And so unfortunately we were like looking up what restaurants were open on the train. We're like, oh, we're gonna eat here. And we got there, and none of the ones we wanted to eat at were open. They looked like nobody had been there in a year.
Yeah, I think they closed up. We got in on a Friday, and I think they closed up a little bit early also.
Yeah.
But when we went back, then all of the food downstairs is open, and then upstairs there was quite a bit. There was Einstein, McDonald's, Uno Pizza is open, Starbucks is open. So there are quite a few choices for you to choose from there if you need to grab something quick or whatever.
But the Shake Shack was closed.
Shake Shack was closed.
And
so was Chipotle.
Chipotle was closed. So yeah, she wanted to go to Chipotle.
I did want Chipotle. I was sad.
No luck.
I haven't had Chipotle since we got back to the U.S. and we've been in the U.S. for a month now. So I gotta track one down.
Have you been on the Southwest Chief? And what's it like? No, we haven't.
No,
been.
but it is on the list. We should be on there in July, early July.
Yeah, actually, I think
You're welcome, Anthony.
So that's one that we've heard really good things about, and we're gonna be on there in July. So
awesome. Oh, Jacqueline knows that those beaches. She grew up in South Florida, so she knows Hollywood Beach. It's a good beach. I like that one.
Mark's taken 10 round trips on the Zephyr from Iowa to Denver. Wow.
That's amazing.
So they're saying Pacific Surfliner is more contact with the seating. Coast Starlight is more spaced out. 2 cafe carts on the busier ride. Okay, no observation car though.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
Compact, yes, got it.
Maybe if somebody can, maybe
The
Sarah,
food-
you could reach out to Chipotle and tell them not to
The
close
food
them.
does not look all that appetizing. Yeah, we had a nuked cheeseburger, is what we did have.
Yes, it
And,
was. I don't know how to describe it. I think the bread was chewy. You know how when you microwave bread, it gets kind of chewy from the gluten. So I think that's what happened. The patty
Yeah.
was fine, but
if you over microwave the cheeseburger, it's not
it
good.
was like wrinkly. How bread
It's-
gets wrinkly when you microwave it.
That's what happened. Yeah, so hopefully the regular food service is coming back because I don't think that'll help the cafe though.
Yeah, I think the cafe food isn't really changed, other than they don't have as many choices, I think, as they had before. But we're really looking forward to the traditional dining coming back because we really want to try that out, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Susan, we were not in a sleeper on this particular train ride because it was a short ride. We actually rode in coach, but we've done several reviews here on the channel for the roomettes. So if you have any sleeper car questions, you can throw those in.
Mina says she wants to go from San Antonio to Jersey.
Okay.
And if you have any experience traveling that area. So from San Antonio up there, I'm guessing you'll be taking the Crescent, or it'll be the Sunset Limited to New Orleans, and then the Crescent up. So we have traveled that. Actually, we traveled on both of those, and they're good trains. The Sunset Limited or the Texas Eagle, you'll be on one of those first. Has an observation car, so that's really good. And we actually stayed the night in New Orleans when we were doing Amtrak, and then you can do the Crescent after that all the way up to the New York City area. So you got to be able to get pretty close to where you want to go with just those two trains.
Yeah,
So,
and it's a fun ride on both of those.
wish we had train service here in Phoenix, Arizona, train station way up north. Yes, I wish you did too. But according to the last map they just put out of expected new services, I think you may be getting it.
It's going to be a little bit closer.
Of course, that's in the next 15 years. So.
We don't know how high on the list.
Yeah,
that's
I
gonna
don't know if that's like the first new one, if they do it or not. But any thought on the train from New York City to Orlando or Kissimmee in August? So yeah, I think that there's quite a few trains that do that. You have the Silver Star, Silver Meteor, and they should all be good. I would just start looking into tickets now though, because what we've seen is that tickets are going up as the summer goes on, and the trains fill up. So the way that Amtrak fares work is that when something first is open, it's the lowest price, and as the train fills up, the price will go up. So we even just had it happen where we had to change a train, and the original train that we booked we got for a really low price, and then the one that we were changing to, because it's now half full, was more. So and we actually heard someone else in the station having that same thing.
Same
So
problem.
the trains are definitely filling this year much more than last year. So if you're going to go to Florida in August, I would definitely advise getting on it quickly.
Right. Yeah, because last year we were just booking tickets as we were going, but I would definitely not advise to do that because they are certainly filling up.
Going to Albany to Chicago in July on the Lakeshore Limited. Do the room attendants make the beds for you, or do you make your own beds?
So you just ring that. There's usually a little button. Not all of the trains have them, but most of them do. Little button says attendant right by your head on your seat in your sleeper car, and they will come and make it for you. Sometimes they just come while you're at dinner, or they'll say, hey, do you want me to make it for you while you're at dinner? They can do that, and they can also put it back up for you in the morning when you go to breakfast.
A couple more questions here. Can you get on at any station or only certain ones?
So you can get on at any Amtrak station wherever they stop. So you can get on and off at any of them. It's just a matter of some of them just know that they're not all attended. So some of them are not. You're just going to be there by yourself basically. And some of the stops are in the middle of the night, so you'll have to kind of look at that. Kind of some of the odd stops in between the big cities are sometimes in the middle of the night.
So what are your must bring items on the California Zephyr from home?
Must bring items. I always have a reusable water bottle with me so I can refill that. And I know it's my bottle and it's clean. And then I also like to have my toiletries with me in the roomette. So toothbrush and some deodorant and some lotion because my skin always gets super dry on the trains, just like it does on airplanes, which is kind of weird, but.
Okay, can you dine in your room or do you have to go to the dining area?
You do not have to go to the dining car. They will bring the food to your room if you prefer to dine there, and they have a little fold-out table that comes right in front of the 2 seats. So you can eat in your room. You do not have to go to the dining room if you don't want to eat there.
Okay, this will be a little longer answer on this one, but the
Okay.
question was, should they check their bag, solo traveler, on a longer trip? I didn't catch where it was, but it's a longer trip.
Okay.
And so you have a couple options if you're in coach. This was in coach. And we just did this because we rode coach. You can either check your bag. Yes, you can do that. And that's a good option if you're a solo traveler. Probably that's what I would do if you don't need to have, if you can wait for it on the other end. It's not going to take that long, but if you can do it. And you can get there early enough to do it. Secondly, you can just put it on the rack on the train. Thirdly, if you're really concerned about having it with you, there is enough room to actually put your suitcase right in front of you at your seat. Which we just did.
We did on this last one, yes.
We had a few things in there that we didn't want to put in because we were shifting things around, and we didn't really want to put it on the rack because if we lost this bag, it would be like, it was kind of a big deal, not just clothes. So we just kept it with us at the seat. Now, single traveler, when you go to the bathroom, that's going to be an issue still. So if you're really concerned about the bag, check it. If it's just got clothes and you're not that concerned, it's probably fine on the rack or at your seat.
Yeah, not too bad.
Let's see. Masks are still required. Mark says he found that coach is good. Yeah, coach was really good. What did you think about the coach ride?
I thought it was great too. What I love about it is just having all the space. It's such an enormous difference from airplane seats and even the aisles. You can just walk down the aisle and not feel like you're running into every seat. It's great because there's just so much more room on the train than there is on a plane. So I agree with you, Mark.
Yeah, and he says he puts his bag in the overhead, which
okay.
if you can fit it up there, that's a really good idea because it would be hard to get it down. Our bag was pretty big. We just didn't want to lift it.
Yeah, we have like the regular size bag that we each carry with us since we travel full time. We each have our own bag with all our clothes and stuff in them. But if you have maybe like a bag that you would put overhead on an airplane, you could easily put overhead on a train for sure. So good, Mark. Thank you for bringing that up.
Okay, somebody earlier asked about going from Baltimore to West Palm Beach, and I think that's still the Silver Meteor. And if you want to know more about those routes on our website, on the blog, groundedlifetravel.com, we have a web page devoted to each train. So it'll show you where you're going, what the best sites to see are, everything about that train, whether there's Wi-Fi, observation car, all that. So check that out for Baltimore to West Palm Beach, but it should be one of those silver routes to Florida. And then someone was asking about tipping.
Oh, about tipping the attendants?
Yeah, roomettes, I think.
Okay, yes. So you can, we tip both the dining car attendant and our room attendant as well when we were in the sleeper car. So just kind of, as far as the dining car is concerned, I noticed 2 different things. We just tipped at the end. We gave one amount for the whole trip, depending on if it was 1 day or 2 days that we were in the dining car or in the sleeper car. And then some people I noticed left a tip at every meal. So it's really up to you what you want to do. And then as far as the sleeper car attendant, we've been doing about $5 per person per night, and we give that collectively to them at the end. I noticed everybody else was basically doing the same thing too, just handing it to them at the end when we were leaving.
Yeah. So someone's asking here, we had to spend close to $1,000 for our trip to Chicago. Is there a way or a place you can get a discount? And there are places you can get discounts. So the best thing where they're kind of all encapsulated is on our website. We have a page that says how to get a discount on Amtrak. So everything is kind of on there. But to go over it quickly, you can, mostly when they run sales, or they have permanent discounts for certain groups. So like if you are a veteran, you know, they'll give you a certain percent off just across the board no matter what. So to see if you qualify, we kind of have those listed. There's a bunch of different kind of odd ones.
There's kind of some odd ones like certain day of the week or
Yeah.
like children or different things like that. They're on the website, groundedlifetravel.com. And I also did a video synopsis also here on the channel, how to get discount on Amtrak, I think is the name of the video.
The way most people get their discount, though, is that they will wait for an Amtrak sale, and those are advertised sales. So they just did like a 50% off sale.
For their 50-year anniversary.
For the 50-year anniversary. They'll do a lot of buy one, get one free sales. And in order to get those, you kind of have to get them in those sale dates, and it's usually about 10 days. So they'll announce it, then you have 10 days to buy it for the future. And if you want to know how to be notified of that sale, because that's the next question everyone has, sign up for the Amtrak Guest Rewards program. You'll get points when you travel, and they'll email you all the sales. So that's the best thing. Another question was a trip from to Las Vegas, train leaving from New York City. Okay, so you would need to do 2 trains. You would need to go from New York City to Chicago, and you can do that in either Lakeshore Limited or the Cardinal. And then from Chicago, there isn't one directly to Las Vegas. There's no train that goes to Vegas, but you can get pretty close down in Arizona, right? Where like Needles or so that would be
you could go up
Southwest Chief.
Yes.
Is what you'd want to ride in. So one train to Chicago, and then the Southwest Chief will get you pretty close to Vegas.
But one of the new routes is going to include Las Vegas, so in the next 10 to 15 years, we'll hopefully be seeing that on there as well.
I'm doing, this is a good question. Maybe someone can answer it that's done this. I'm doing the New York to San Fran next month. Will I have access to my checked bag during the Chicago layover? So what they're asking is they have two legs. They have to go New York to Chicago, get off the train, and get on a new train, Chicago to LA. So if you booked those separately, like Amtrak doesn't know you're doing both, it wasn't like one big ticket, you'll have to get off and gather your bag, and then you're checking back in. But I don't know if you book it through them. We've never booked it where it's like one trip. Where they transfer it for you. So I don't know. Does anybody know for them, if you book several legs on one ticket, if they will transfer your bag? I don't know if they'll do that.
I don't know, but I won't lie. I'd be a little bit nervous letting them do it. That's just my personal opinion.
She likes to have her bag after every...
I like to have my bag. I get very sad.
Yeah, and I think it depends on how long you're going to be laid over there. Because it's not like an airline where it's like an hour usually.
Right. Sometimes it's just a real
sometimes.
quick exchange. Yeah.
So maybe someone will answer that for you in the chat here if they've done that. Okay, another good question from Loves to Travel. In coach, are you assigned a seat, or can you choose your own seat when you get on? And I think the answer is yes.
Yes, to both.
Which is weird.
Sometimes they assign you a seat, and like when we got on in Charlottesville, like half the people had seat assignments and half of us did not. It really it doesn't matter very much what you really do.
Yeah, so it depends, because there was 2 trains leaving, and the train before us, they gave everybody a seat, and then our train, they didn't even show up. They just said, okay, just go to the platform and get on. And we said, well, do we get a seat? They just said, sit wherever you want. So you might get assigned a seat, and you might just, you might not. I don't know how you know.
I think most of the time, though, you can just choose. I don't think they're super picky about
the way that you know that someone's in a seat, though, is above every seat there's a little place where they stick a piece of paper, and they'll write on that seat where you're going. So above our seat, when they checked our tickets, they wrote WAS for Union Station, Washington. Put it on the seat, and that way, if we go to the bathroom or the cafe, you'll know someone's sitting there if there's a little three-letter code. If there's no three-letter code there, then no one is sitting there probably. So yeah, Pacific Surfliner, Zephyr. People are saying there's
no assignment there
assignment.
either. Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't really ever had one, but on this Cardinal, a lot of people thought they had assigned seats. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did, but they sure thought they did.
It wasn't too bad though.
Yeah. Leaving in a month for the California Zephyr and CoStar Light to Seattle from Rochester.
Whoa.
Copying your trip from last summer. Wow, that is going to be fun.
I was going to say, that sounds familiar. That's going to be lots of fun. We love that trip.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
And someone did ask us how we got started on train trips. As far as train trips in general, first time we did train trips was actually in Europe, from London to Scotland and all around Italy. So we've ridden a lot of trains overseas, and then we came home and said, all right, most of the reservation was because I get motion sickness, and so I was a little bit concerned that I might get sick on the trains, and so Rob wanted to go for a long time, and so we put it off out of concern for me getting sick. And when I didn't get sick while we were overseas, then we came home and said, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
And we did.
That's been great. We've loved it. So someone's asking, what's the most enjoyable long distance Amtrak route, all things considered? Scenery, destinations, timing, price, all that. What's the best long distance one?
Best long distance? Oh, I say California Zephyr.
Yeah.
It's
kind of universally known as the prettiest. So
it's amazing.
And the price is pretty much the same as all the other long distance ones if you get a good deal.
Really? Yes.
Not that crowded. So yeah, the Zephyr. If you only could do one, do the Zephyr, I would say. So the earlier you purchase, the better the deal. Yes. Generally, the earlier you purchase a ticket, the better the deal, unless they happen to run a sale right after you purchase, which has happened to us, right? Didn't it just happen?
It did actually just happen to us.
Someone's saying if you get off here and you need to go to Vegas, you can get off in Kingman. Yes, you can get off in Kingman.
Yes, and we love Kingman too. It's so cute. It's a Route 66 town. We have a video here on the channel of our time there. We had a lot of fun.
Let's see. Maurice is saying, we just got on tracks, our backup yesterday. Cafe cars are open for passengers to sit in with limited seating.
Oh, yay,
so
Maurice.
I think Maurice is a conductor, right?
Yes, I think so.
So that's awesome. Yeah, because we were on a couple days ago and we couldn't sit in the cafe car. So if you could sit in the cafe car, that would be amazing. Because we were eating our cheeseburger and Coke at our seat and with all the other college kids that were on our train. And he says this includes diners as well. Thank you, Maurice.
Awesome. Yay, that's exciting.
Dawn asks if you're on a sleeper car, are meals included?
Yes, they are included. You get your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or whatever meals coincide with your time in the sleeper car. You also do get water and free soft drinks. And the last we had heard, you get one free alcoholic beverage per person per ride.
Let's see. Taking the CoStar Light from LA to Seattle at the end of the month with the BOGO roomette. Can't wait.
You're in for a treat. Oh, we loved that one. That was so much fun. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Do you have a video on how and what to pack?
For Amtrak? I don't think we do, but that's a good idea.
Give a few tips right now.
Yes, we'll make one, but I'll give you a few tips. You'll want to have one smaller bag that you're going to bring into the room with you with your toiletries. They do provide you with towels, and you can take a shower there as well. And I did it because I wanted to try taking a shower in the train and see if I survived. And I did, and it was perfectly fine. Totally clean, and they provided, like I said, towels for you. They do have extra toiletries there, like they had a little thing of shampoo, and they also had soap, but I had my own, so I didn't need to use those. And they come, pre-wrapped and all that kind of good stuff, so you have access to that. You do also get a washcloth as well there, so you don't have to bring a ton with you, just enough to, get yourself clean so you don't, look too disheveled when you get off the train after sleeping on it for 1, 2, 3 nights.
Crafting Korea is saying she was able to call and get a travel credit when they did a sale after her.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
interesting. That's a cool idea.
Never done that.
We haven't tried that.
Can you check bags from Emeryville to Omaha? You should be able to, I think. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, if you're getting on in Emeryville, that's a manned station, so you should be able to, a staff station, so you should be able to get your bags in there.
Can you store luggage under the seat in your roomette?
In your roomette, yes, there is some room, but not a ton. It would have to be a fairly small bag. For us, we usually have a little bag of like necessities, like either medication or something you have to, have with you. And we put that underneath the seat, but it's a very, we're talking about like this small bag, little one, baby bag. It's about the size of like a big purse, if you will.
Yeah, and up top, there's no place to store anything.
Unless you're in there by yourself.
Yeah, if you're a single traveler, you could store a bag on the top bunk, but otherwise up top, there's like a little pouch you can put.
And there is the big luggage rack when you come in, but is the upper bunk cold? Can you request extra blanket? Yes, you can request extra blanket, and I don't ever sleep on the top, so.
It's cooler than the bottom, but I like that. So, yeah, it's definitely.
I would freeze up there. It's very cold, and I tend to be cold anyways, so I don't ever sleep up there because I'll just be an icicle.
If you get cold, I did notice someone like had put like a little piece of paper that was kind of directing the air down. So that was pretty ingenious. But they left it up when we were in there, and I took it off because I wanted the cold air up there. So. Let's see. Someone was asking if we could do a video when they go on sale. And it's hard to do that because the sale kind of is over before most people have seen the video. But we do usually update our blog right when there's a sale. So if you check the blog, but the best way to find out about the sale again is sign up for Amtrak rewards and you'll do it. So sales are usually on our blog, but
and when you do sign up, I think I saw someone said they didn't get emails and they were a part of the Amtrak guest rewards. Make sure that you are opted into the emails, because sometimes you could inadvertently, click those little boxes underneath. Just go to the settings and preferences, and you should be able to check there and make sure that you do have it checked off, that you do want notifications by email from them, and then you should be getting them then. So make sure you make that adjustment if you haven't already.
And Maurice says on the 23rd, 100% seating will be available on the NEC. I think that's Northeast Corridor. So
that's coming right up.
That's where we are. That's where we're headed. So we're ready to go.
We'll be using those right now.
It is, the environment is changing very fast on Amtrak, which we're excited about because we have been writing at pandemic, times for quite a while now.
Right.
And we actually haven't done much non-pandemic writing, so it's cool to get it back to normal.
Yeah, it is interesting to just kind of see how everything is just changing around us, because when we first got back to the U.S. from Malaysia, just right in the middle of the pandemic, we started writing Amtrak a few months after that and found there was almost nobody on the trains. If you watch some of our videos on here, you'll see a couple times we had the observation car completely to ourselves because there were so few people on the train, as opposed to now we're riding with, full cars of people.
People always ask how we got the thumbnail for our 14-day vacation video with nobody in. There was nobody.
No problem. There was no one there.
Coach. So we were the only ones on the train for a few stops. Someone says they drink a lot of water. Do you recommend they bring a few extras? And I think if you're in a roomette, you get whatever water you want, right?
Yeah, in the roomette, you get unlimited water. They'll bring you water. And then if you're in coach, then, like I said earlier, we always travel with our refillable water bottles, these guys, and we always refill those. So that's not a problem.
Someone's asking if they want to, Elizabeth is asking if they want to go to, from Tucson to Orlando. How would they do that? I'm going to look real quick. I got a map right here.
Okay, so Tucson to Orlando.
So from Tucson...
We like Tucson.
That's actually going to be a pretty difficult trip, just the way that the Amtrak map works out is because from Tucson, you'd have to go on the Sunset Limited or the Texas Eagle over to New Orleans, and then from New Orleans, you'd go up the East Coast, and then you have to come back down to Florida because there's nothing that connects
Going across there.
like Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi to Florida. There's nothing there that's gonna connect that. So thank you, Sandman and Coco.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. That was awesome.
So glad you guys found our channel and super happy that has been helpful to you guys. What's your last journey or next journey on Amtrak? Let us know.
Let's see. Taking a ride from Orlando to New York City, Chicago to Seattle, and then down to San Diego in August. Multi-day stops in between. That is going to be amazing. Yeah, I wish I was doing that too. That's
Maybe
pretty
we'll
similar.
go with them.
Similar to something. Yeah. McCrory Greer. Maybe we'll see you on there because maybe we'll book that too. That's great.
Updates on traditional dining. It is coming back in this next week. Yes? Is that what we've said already?
Yep.
Yes. And you will be able to sit in the cafe car as well.
Another good question from Bloof Kloof. Meals are included in the roomette, but what about the cafe car? Are they included?
They are not included. So if you're in a roomette and you want something from the cafe, that's something that you have to purchase on your own. And if you're in coach and obviously you do not get your meals included, then you would purchase any food from the cafe. But the thing is, you can bring your own food and drink with you on the train. So like sometimes we'll just buy like a foot long Subway sub or something and just split that and bring our own drink if we're in coach. But you can bring your own food. You don't have to purchase the food on the train.
Yeah, and
because it can get costly if you're on there for several days. And I mean, it's, not to say anything bad, but it's not the world's healthiest meals.
Yeah, and if you're relying on the cafe, we've never had a problem with roomette food. We have had a couple problems relying on cafe food where they either they couldn't sell it because I forget what it was. The credit card machine was down.
Yeah, something was
and
down.
they couldn't take cash. And then one time, like we just said yesterday, they ran out of food.
Yeah, Jacqueline, thank you for the money. That's awesome. We're more than happy to help you guys as you prepare for your Amtrak journey. So keep those questions coming.
Thank you.
Let's see. Jet Set Traveler, have we been to the Metropolitan Lounges? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have been to several of them in LA, in Chicago. We're about to go in the D.C. one in a few days. I know we've been in more, but now they're leaving my brain.
Well, with New Orleans, it was not really much of a lounge.
No, it's basically just a partition.
Yeah, and Atlanta may be the worst.
The only thing separating the Metropolitan Lounge from the regular area is just one of those little bar things that separates like the little rat mazes that they make. Yeah, so I wouldn't really call that a Metropolitan Lounge.
Yeah.
But the best one, our favorite, is probably the
Chicago.
Chicago, yes.
Yeah, Chicago is by far.
Jacqueline Sanders, thank you. We got 2 Jacquelines. Yay, Jacquelines, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Thanks for joining in and thanks for the support. Where are we headed after DC? Where are we going? Oh, we're splitting up after that. No, not that kind of splitting up.
That's good.
That came out bad.
Yeah.
Be a really weird way for our kids to find out. No, we're not splitting up. We're splitting up as in I am headed on a road trip with our daughter as she moves from Tennessee. If you didn't hear earlier, she just graduated from college. So she's leaving college and she's moving all the way across the country to LA. So she and I are going to do a mother-daughter road trip to take her all the way out there. So I'm doing that while Rob goes to New York and hangs out in New York City and goes to some baseball games. He's on a journey to go to every Major League Baseball park and he is almost done.
Yeah, I have about five to go. So I'll get 2 in New York City, and then she will come back and visit me.
Then we'll join back up on the 5th, June 5th. So we'll do a live after I get back from that whole trip. So if you want to hear all about how it went with my daughter, I think she's going to be up for doing a YouTube video with me about the trip, but we'll see. Keep an eye on the channel. But I'll be back. We'll be back together on the 6th of June, and we'll do a live then, and kind of update you guys on how all that went.
Yeah, and so we're planning on doing the Northeast, so Boston, and then actually what we're doing up there in the Northeast is Allie's going to finish off her 50 states.
I'm so excited.
So we're planning to do that on Amtrak. So I think the very last state that she needs will be Delaware, and we're going to do that on one of the trains that goes to Delaware.
Yes.
We haven't decided yet.
We haven't decided yet. Anthony, thank you so much. You are awesome.
Thank you, Anthony. Oh, Marie says, let me know when you come to Fenway Park. Yes, we have been looking every day, waiting for the Red Sox to put the tickets on sale for June, because we don't want to miss out. And so, yeah, it's going to be sometime in June. We'll be to Fenway Park. That'd be great. Do you have any tips on sitting in coach for 42 hours? Yes. So I think if you're in it that long, you're probably going to be on a train with an observation car. So just don't stay in coach would be my tip. Go to the observation car, go to the cafe. Maurice just told us that cafe seating is coming back soon or was back yesterday. So, yeah. The great thing about coach that a lot of people don't know, even when they're on it, is that you have access to the entire train except for the dining car, if they're not allowing you in there, and the sleeper cars, obviously. But you can go to the cafe. You can go to the
observation car if your train has one.
And if you're on for 42 hours,
you will want to do that.
I'm guessing you have an observation car.
Yes,
So.
and we did do a long one. We did the Sunset Limited from New Orleans to Tucson in coach. So we know what it feels like, and it was good. We had a good time.
Yeah.
But we did do a video about that, and it's right here on the channel for the Sunset Limited. Check that out, and you can kind of see what our trip was like.
Yeah, that was one of our first Amtrak videos. Sarah's saying a mother-daughter live stream would be awesome. You gotta talk our daughter into that.
She's funny. Simple Joy, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yay!
Really
Welcome to the
appreciate
club, new subscriber. Awesome. Thank you so
you.
much.
Liz is taking the city of New Orleans to Chicago, and we're taking the game at Wrigley week after next. First major league game. Wow. You're gonna get a treat.
Wrigley is so fun. It
Wrigley
is an old
amazing.
field, but
Yeah.
it's fun, right?
Yeah, probably one of the best ones you could go to because it's right like in the heart of a city, and you're gonna get all the history that's there because it's a really tight stadium. So it's the newer stadiums
snug
are like these big, almost
spacious
park things. Like where we live in Atlanta, they have a brand new big stadium. But we love the history of those old ones, and so Wrigley is awesome.
Yeah. And our son actually lives in Chicago. We'll be there later this summer.
Yeah, we go to Chicago a lot, and now soon LA a lot.
And now LA.
So I have a feeling we're going to be on the Southwest Chief a lot.
A lot. Going to Chicago, LA. Chicago, LA.
Can you buy Amtrak swag on trains?
There's very little available. There is a comfort pack available. I don't know if it has the Amtrak logo on it. You used to be able to buy the playing card. I don't know if Maurice is still on, if he can answer that question. But there was also a deck of playing cards you could get. And at some select stations, I saw that there are things you can purchase, but not very many of them. I know I saw that in LA.
Yeah. I haven't seen a whole lot. Like if you want a shirt or something, you'd have to get that. I think beforehand
Order it or something.
or afterwards. Yeah, order it. So, yeah, we are pretty excited to go up to the Northeast. We're also going to be taking Amtrak to Niagara Falls.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, only the American
The
side.
American side. Maybe Canada will open up.
Unless Canada opens up Canada. Maybe.
If anyone in a position of power in Canada is watching this video, it'd be great if by
We'd like to come to both sides.
July you could let us through. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Love to meet you both in Chicago when I am there the end of August. I think we will be moved on by then, but we are there a lot. Yeah, we will be back out to California.
Someone says Portland apparently is the mecca of Amtrak swag, so
Wow.
that may be the place to go.
Yeah, they have
The station there is really cool. So
they have
Yeah.
a Metropolitan Lounge there.
yes, they do.
So maybe you can get stuff there. Yeah, the Metropolitan Lounges are all pretty different.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't fully answer that question earlier, but if you're going to Chicago, it's worth it to go to the Metropolitan Lounge. Get there early. It's like a
Definitely.
2-level.
It's huge. It's great.
Yeah.
Really
all
nice
kinds
and
of stuff.
spacious. You can have, sit in like a quiet area upstairs or watch TV downstairs, or they do have snacks available as well. They don't have them set out right now, but if you do ask the attendant, he'll get them for you from behind the counter.
Yeah, and LA Metropolitan Lounge, when we were there, they actually had the food just kind of out, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
Yep.
that was the one where the food was just kind of out, and that was during, that was,
Yeah.
last year.
That was last year in the middle of COVID shutdown
so
stuff.
LA was pretty well stocked. Yeah, so we're hoping to do that.
Maurice says there is all sorts of
sorts of
stuff.
stuff, yeah.
Okay, that's
we
good.
need to get some of that so I can have a
That's
Amtrak
right.
shirt to
That's
wear
right. Yes.
while I'm on the train. Yeah. I would wear one. I haven't been to Portland though. Is the city of New Orleans a particularly scenic route? It seems to be the easternmost route with an observation car. Good question. We have not been on the city of New Orleans, so we don't know particularly. But I'm just looking at the map. If someone knows about that, maybe you can answer here in the comments how scenic that is. I'm wondering if it follows the Mississippi River at all. I'm thinking maybe it does. And that would be very scenic. But
Yeah, you'll
that
have a
is
few
a
big
scenic part of
cities
the
there
country.
too. So that would be pretty probably.
I think that they have
I
an
would think so.
observation car on most of the ones that are scenic, like the Crescent. When we were on that from Atlanta to New Orleans, it's a lot of trees. And
Yeah.
the Cardinal was a little bit like that this week too. It was a lot of trees, but coming into D.C. was beautiful. Coming over the river.
Oh, Maurice is saying they might be putting we'll see. I guess let's see, he says, if they put the dining car in for the auto train for the non-sleeper car passengers. So that's the one train that's always a little bit different. Did I ever work at United Airlines? No.
No, me either.
I missed one
but
somewhere.
Yeah, I can't imagine what I would have been like as a flight attendant. Maybe I should have.
Let's see, this one. No, I'm trying to see which one we missed. Oh, this one here.
Thinking about Seattle, LA,
Oh.
Chicago, and back. Oh, so that'd be pretty good. So
Yeah.
Coast Starlight, and then up on the Southwest Chief, and then over on the Empire Builder. Yeah, that we have a video about almost that exact trip, except for we stopped in Emeryville instead of all the way to LA, and then we went on the Coast Starlight, and we did it in reverse order. But yeah, that is a really good trip, and we did that. So if you check out our blog on that, or we have a video, we recommended some hotels, which is one of the hard things for people to figure out, I think, is where should you stay.
Yes.
So that's one of the things we're trying to do in our videos and our blogs now, is recommend and show you which hotel we're staying at. Like right now in Union Station, we just walk to this hotel from Union Station with our bags, which is way better than having to get an Uber outside Union Station. So
Yeah, we got that video coming up. That's going to be Friday's video, right?
yeah.
Yes. You do not want to miss Friday's video. You get to walk along with us, see what it's like to walk from Union Station to our hotel together
With our bags.
with our bags.
100%
100% capacity. When did Maurice say?
Soon.
I can't remember.
Very
soon.
soon.
So very soon it's back to 100%. So
Yeah. Did you ever get on the parlor cart before it was taken off the Coast Starlight? No, unfortunately.
they took it off before we got on.
We have lived on the East Coast, and we did not get to do any West Coast trains until last year. So fellow employees are excited about what is to come, says Maurice. Yeah, it is exciting, and Amtrak's gained a lot of positive momentum, even in the news recently, and we're excited about that because once you try it, if you have the time, it is so much better than flying. If you have the time to do it. So
Yeah.
and better than driving too, right?
Oh, goodness gracious, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we love road trips too, but gosh, if someone will drive you around and you can just sit and relax and take a nap if you want, then why not?
Yes, Jay is recommending check out Moynihan Train Hall. It's
yes.
glorious. And the brand new Metropolitan Lounge. We will be visiting there.
Yes.
I'll be there in about a week. And we should, yeah.
And then we'll both be traveling through there a couple of times as well.
Yeah, we're doing the Lakeshore Limited, so we have a sleeper car on that. So we'll check out the lounge, get some video, see what kind of food they have, all the good stuff. And see, we're going to try to walk to our hotel in New York City too. So I don't think it's going to be bad.
I don't know. Rob says it's okay and we can do it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's closer than this was. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we'll do a video of that. We'll show you how it goes.
Can't find a connection with Roomette, all 3 legs. Yeah, they're selling out.
They are.
We tried to get a bedroom just a couple days ago. We were trying to get one, and we
Trying to
searched,
switch up one of our legs.
Yeah, for a different date, and we could not.
We had the
find
hardest time.
anything. Finally, we found.
We had to jerry rig it basically.
Yeah, we're going out of the way a little, but
We'll tell you all about it when we do that video.
yeah, we're gonna have to go to Milwaukee is the short story, which we didn't intend on. But
I mean, we've been there before and we had a good time. We saw the Bronze Fawns, but you know.
yeah, we saw the Brewers. Yeah,
And we did see the Brewers.
yeah. So that'll be exciting. I think she's gonna beat me. She's trying to do the 50 states. I'm trying to do all the major league ballparks, and I think she's gonna get done before I am because, yeah, because there's a couple like I haven't been to Minnesota, and I'm not gonna get there. Longest delay you've ever had? Maybe.
Was it that one to Chicago?
Yeah,
It
Empire
was
Building.
almost 2 hours. Yes, almost 2 hours behind. There was some issues with some freight trains ahead of us.
Yeah, people say the Empire Builder is delayed quite a bit. That wasn't that bad.
And that's the one. Yeah, that's the one we were on.
2 hours is not terrible. I've been delayed more on planes than I have on. I've been delayed overnight on planes. So I haven't been delayed overnight
Several
on Amtrak.
times actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. We love flying Amtrak, or we love riding on Amtrak because there's just so much less that can go wrong once you get to the airport. Delays. We've been on a plane when we were backing out, and they hit
a plane behind us
with our plane, and
nipped the wing. We had to come right back. That was after that flight was already delayed overnight because of some kind of pilot timing issue or something.
Yeah, it was
that could happen avoided.
It was snowing.
And we had our kids with us then too. It was
Yeah.
snowing. We ended up getting stuck in New York City, which is not bad, but not if you weren't planning on it. And we were just getting back from Madrid with a 3 and a 4-year-old, so we were not really up for that challenge.
Yeah, and I don't feel like those kind of major catastrophes can happen on Amtrak.
It could have been worse, but you know.
Yeah, so if you 2-hour delay, that's not terrible. Jacqueline says she would much rather drive since they have no train station. I fly only if I have to. Yeah,
I agree.
I would say train, cruise, drive, fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably walk before I'd fly if it was short.
Walk.
Which speaking,
Rob's not a big walking fan.
well, I'm talking about like a couple 100 feet here. Speaking of cruising, we do have a cruise channel if you are interested in cruising, and the link is in the description here. So there's not a ton of new videos on there because obviously cruising has not been happening, but we do have a lot of videos from before on there, and are planning to put more on when we get back.
Yes, it's coming back soon. It's looking pretty good, so we are excited to get back on the ships as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody said
Maurice says, as conductors, we have to challenge to educate the passengers. They can't barricade the seats next to them with the luggage. Yeah,
That's true.
that can be problem because people want to just.
Yes. You have to do it in a way that it doesn't obstruct. If there's someone sitting next to you, it doesn't obstruct that person, because you only have the space in front of you. You can't take up the space next to you, and you certainly can't, infringe on that person's space. So yes, Maurice, we'll all try to educate everybody together.
So crafting Korea, I think it's Korea, says, I have no idea how you got the California Zephyr for $600. We spent close to $1,600. So we do get that question a lot, because that was the biggest question we got is on our video that we did all the roomettes was how much did it cost? So we paid we did 3 roomettes. We did California Zephyr, CoStar Light, and Empire Builder. We paid $500 and something for all 3 of them, I think.
So it ended up being about $1,500-ish dollars,
So,
a little bit more for all 3 for roomette for both of us.
Yeah, I think the reason that we got such a good deal was when we booked it, the ridership was really low. So the prices were low, and then we got to buy one, get one free on top of that. Because it was off season and it was during the pandemic. So it was September of 2020 when we went. And it would be difficult now to probably get
I would think so.
that price.
Well, and now that it's going back to 100%, I think it's going to be nearly impossible to get a price quite that low, because we've got several trips booked, and we didn't get anything anywhere near quite as low as that, but we did book it well in advance. So again, if you're thinking about it, start looking at the numbers, because you're going to get a cheaper rate now than if you wait till later. Plus, like someone said, they're trying to do 3 different legs, and they're having a hard time even finding accommodations for that in the sleeper car. So definitely, start looking at those and start booking them. The earlier, the better in this case.
Yeah, we are doing the Texas Eagle, I think. I know, Southwest Chief.
Yes.
And I think we paid like $800 for that in roomette, but that was during the buy one get one. So even that was more than the $500 we paid last year. So
yes. Was there a cruising question? Oh.
There was a cruise question. If our cruise cancels in October, we're gonna do the Zephyr, but it looks like we may be cruising. And then is there a train to Louisiana? And they live in Pittsburgh. So I'll look at the map real
from Pittsburgh.
quick.
Gotcha.
And
I don't know how early. While you're looking at the map, someone asked about if they could bring a coffee maker. I don't know how early you're drinking coffee. I think the cafe is open at like 6 or 7, but if you want coffee before that, I would think you could bring one with you in the roomette, because you do have somewhere where you can plug it in.
Okay, so from Pittsburgh to Louisiana, you actually have 2 options. You'll need to do 2 trains, but from Pittsburgh, you can either go to Washington, D.C., and then go down from there to New Orleans on the Crescent, or you can go to Chicago and go down to New Orleans on the City of New Orleans train. So both of those would be good. I would just go whichever one is cheaper, probably.
And wow, 4 a.m. for coffee. That's awesome. That's definitely before me. But yeah, I would bring my own coffee maker too if I wanted coffee at 4 a.m.
Everything is increasing in the price since the pandemic. Yeah, it is. Things are getting back to normal, so the deals are evaporating quickly. We've noticed.
Yes. So scoop them up.
Yeah, it has been a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, like we said, the sooner as soon as you know you want to go, start looking at those numbers and start booking, because it does get expensive. Yeah, we totally get it, Jacqueline. Yes. We try to always be thinking ahead, like, if we can do it several months in advance, we do.
And it was a shock for us coming back, because we were just in Columbia, and it was pretty cheap, pretty inexpensive.
It was very inexpensive there. We've been home for a month. We were in Columbia for 3 months. We've been home for a month, and we're still having trouble with sticker shock. We ordered from Uber Eats the other night, and I'm still crying myself to sleep over how much we spent on that.
Yeah.
on Mexican food on Uber Eats. It's crazy.
I'll say that our cab ride from our condo in Columbia to the hotel was $2, and in Atlanta, our Uber to get from the airport home was a little over 100. So that was at midnight. And
Yeah,
there
crazy,
was like
right?
a driver shortage. So
yeah. So there's that.
Yeah. So
we get it. We get it.
How is the internet service while riding? That's a really good question.
Ooh, that is a good question.
And I just tested it, so I know the answer.
He's not kidding. He did test it.
I did test it.
He's that nerdy.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. So I tried with my cell phone and I tried with the internet, and the AT&T connection on my cell phone was quite a bit faster than the Wi-Fi on my cell phone. So that doesn't mean it's bad. It was actually pretty good. It was the Amtrak Wi-Fi was actually faster than the hotel Wi-Fi we have here. Mm-hmm. But your cell phone is probably faster. So I would only use the Amtrak Wi-Fi for like your computer or devices that don't have a cell connection. Mm-hmm. So that would be the answer. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to be like blazing fast. It's going to be probably a little bit slower than your phone. And yeah, as Marie says, it is limited on long distance trains.
Correct.
And
yes.
there's a lot of long distance trains where you don't even have a cell connection.
Yes.
So
and the California Zephyr is one of them. There's big chunks of time where you don't have even coverage. So just keep that in mind if you have to have connectivity, or if you're trying to plan a meeting or work while you're on the train, which you really shouldn't on the California Zephyr. But if you must, just know that there are, times where you will not have coverage or service or anything.
Yeah. So a lot of people think that Amtrak has like this magic Wi-Fi. They don't. They have to take it. They have to take it from existing things, just like we do. So
from the towers.
If you don't have coverage, they don't have coverage either. So
yeah, and I imagine the Northeast Corridor, Maurice said, is not bad, and I would imagine it's probably pretty good, just because it is such a concentrated area of the country. So I would think, I would say that's probably
when I checked the
accurate.
cell phone speed in Virginia, it was way faster than we have in Atlanta. So I think the Northeast is better served than a lot of the country.
Yeah.
So I think that will about wrap it up. If you want to
we'll wrap it up.
Else.
Yep, we'll wrap it up for this week. So we won't probably see you guys next week unless Rob does one on his own from New York. But we'll be back on the 6th of June, I believe, and I'll be back from my trip with my daughter, taking her out west. And hopefully we'll have a video for that. But don't forget to watch the video for this Friday. We've got a special one on Tuesday. So a special one on Tuesday coming this week. And then we have a great one from our trip here in DC coming up on Friday. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And we will see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Bye. Guys.